linked learning programs and the multiple pathways it creates to future success for our kids. So I know at least at one point in our respective lives as students, at least one time, probably numerous times, you're probably asking yourself, why is this necessary? Why do I need to know this information? Why do I need to know these algebra problems and equations? How are they applicable to my life? What can I really use them for? Why do I need to know about World War II or the drafting of the Constitution that happened over 70 and 220 years ago? Why is this stuff relevant to me? You probably, each kid has probably asked themselves that question in a math class or a chemistry class. And linked learning programs seek to mitigate these responses and help solve the issue of student participation and engagement to increase student achievement across the board in a variety of ways. Because we want each student to really enjoy going to school and grow academically, socially, spiritually in school, and really understand why they're going to school. Why is this knowledge important to them, and how is it applicable to the real world? So, linked learning is essentially the approach to educational reform that combines rigorous academics, demanding career and technical education, and real world experience and integrated student supports. So essentially, linked learning seeks to connect academics and apply it to the real world. It makes learning and knowledge relevant, and students understand that vocabulary and equations and concepts and ideas that are learned in class just aren't these abstract and arbitrary concepts, but they're really vital to understanding the world and developing solutions to these real world problems. And it gives each student the tools to be successful in 2019. And that's up to them to define what success is. We're not defining what success is or what happiness is. We're giving them these foundational tools that'll allow them to be successful in most facets of life. And all of these subjects are linked together with commitments to equity and equality and this culture of compassion and real world applications and working with industry leaders. So we're connecting all of these facets of life together and putting them in a school setting. So they're really understanding what's learned in school is connecting it to the real world. So that knowledge is applicable to the real world and they understand why they're in school. And it makes them a more well-rounded person and they're more job ready once they leave the classroom. So some of the benefits of linked learning is it prepares students for both college and career. For at least the last few decades, we've had this one size fits all model, which is everyone should go to college, get a 4 year degree, and then go into the workforce. But this idea is very antiquated. And it suppresses the learning and creativity of students because not everyone wants to go to college. Some people might want to go to a music school, or they want to be a dancer, or they want to be a mechanic, or a plumber, or an electrician. So we're constantly trying to fit each student into a square peg when each student is a different shape, and we shouldn't force upon them this idea that college is for everyone. So, and if it is, they should be prepared for colleges and careers, and that includes like apprenticeships, formal employment training, community college, all of these different avenues for career success, and it's not just through college. Linked learning in general is just this very multifaceted educational platform that allows students to be engaged in a variety of fields and academic subjects. So they're getting a taste of everything, so they can really start to understand, hopefully by their junior year, like what they're really interested in, what really makes them happy, what are they passionate about, so they can pursue that career and start to build the tools necessary to be successful in that career. Um, Also, gives them the 21st century skills necessary to thrive in an ever-changing job market. So jobs are consistently changing with each growing year due to technology and globalization. So teaching them one specific, very specific job skill, technical skill, probably wouldn't be the best. But if they start learning all these general skills that can be applied to a multitude of jobs, that'll make them more. It would be more advantageous for them in the future, and they'll give them more future success. So students in linked learning classes will be producing assignments and projects and presentations in school. And these types of, group work, group project-based learning projects that they'll be doing in class is very reminiscent and very similar to any kind of project that you'll be doing in almost any workplace or workforce. Because in across the country, people are working together on jobs, on projects to make solutions. Whether you're making a car or an architectural firm trying to make a building, or you're a teachers in a linked learning program, you're working together to create ideas and projects and assignments for your students to benefit everyone. And while they're doing that, they're not only working on these collaborative projects, but they're also working on social skills and working together and collaborating, being able to coordinate different pieces, complementary pieces that are components of a greater thing, so of a greater project or greater goal. So like building a car, maybe one group is working on the tires, one group is working on the frame, one group is working on the electronics of the car, etc., etc. And then they're all working together to build this, to work towards this main goal. It helps connect classroom knowledge to provide real-world solutions, are solutions to real-world problems. So I touched on this a little earlier. So they are connecting the knowledge in class um, and applying it to the real world. So it's making the learning relevant and relatable. And that's what's most important, because if they're asking you like, why do I need to learn this? Then we're not doing good enough jobs as teachers and educators of making learning relevant and fun and engaging. And finally, it provides significant growth in student achievement across the board. So it just helps with their communication, their social skills, critical thinking, higher order learning, technological and social literacy that'll make them successful in any field or workplace. So it's not just, oh, they got an A minus in this class, or they got, a G, a good, a G for good in citizenship. They're building all these secondary skills that are just incredibly essential to their success in any facet of life, not just even in the workplace, but having those basic foundational skills is imperative to their success. And finally, I'll end it with the road through life can and should be wonderful and fun and very fulfilling, but it will inexorably be incredibly difficult and arduous. And our goal as educators and teachers and administrators is to provide them with the skills and tools necessary to lead happy and successful lives. And that is up for them to decide what that means. We've been pushing success and happiness on them for far too much. Our idea in America of what being successful and happy is. And Linked Learning's integrated educational platforms allow students to decide for themselves what makes them happy. Maybe they don't want to go to college. Maybe they want to do something else with their life that'll give them fulfillment and happiness. So all of our students and children should be allowed to follow their dreams and pursue their own interests. And Linked Learning gives them that very dynamic and multifaceted education where they can start taking different classes and career technical educational classes and programs, so they can start finding out what are they really interested in, what are they very passionate about, so they can pursue their own dreams. And these skills and tools that we're going to help give them and they'll learn in class will give them the opportunity to feel very grounded in an ever-changing, very fluid world that is 2019.